Hi everyone, welcome back to Parenting Insight. I'm Esther, and this is part 4 on the series of language, identity, and status in Kenya. Today we're going to explore 5 aspects of language, and I'm going to be using my names to try and demonstrate some of these aspects as we explore the dynamics of language and the interaction of the mind with languages. So the first aspect of language is alphabets. So my surname is Kinuthia. Kinuthia is not an English name. It's a Kikuyu name. It's my tribal name. Now, I've always spelled my name like this, Kinuthia, and I've always pronounced my name as Kinuthia. Now, I often forget that that's not the proper spelling of my name, and it's not the proper pronunciation of my name. It's an adjustment I unconsciously made to accommodate spelling my name in the English alphabet. So the proper spelling of my name is this. K, this is not an I, this is a Kikuyu vowel. N, this is not a U, this is a Kikuyu vowel. And then T, H, this is an actual I, and A. So the proper pronunciation of my name is Kenothia, because this is not an I, it's an A, and this is not a U, it's an O. And that's one of the many aspects of language. The fact that different languages may have unique alphabets that are not found in other languages or in mainstream languages. So for example, the English language does not have the Kikuyu A and the Kikuyu O, the two letters that are in my surname. But Kikuyu has the 5 English vowels, A, E, I, O, U, and then it also has the A and O. The second aspect of language is pronunciation. Again, I'm going to use one of my names. I'm going to use my middle name, Wanjiro, to demonstrate the aspect of pronunciation. So the short form of my middle name, Wanjiro, is Shiro. Now, Shiro is spelled C-I-R-N-O. Remember, this is a Kikuyu alphabet, but yet this C is pronounced as S-H, and so my name in its short form is pronounced as Shiro, but yet spelled as C. Okay? And I know again, and I'm sure again, this is not something unique to the Kikuyu language. This is something that is common in many languages where the spelling of a word is different from the pronunciation. So how you see the word is not how you pronounce it. The third aspect of language is structure. Now, different languages have different structures and different rules. And so switching from one language to another is not just about replacing the word from one language to another. It's about changing the whole structure of how you construct, for example, sentences. So an example would be that it's not unusual to hear a Kenyan say something like, "Me, I'm tired." So by English standards, that sentence is not correct because you cannot use me and use in the same sentence. But then I realized it's really just about someone thinking in Swahili, constructing the sentence in Swahili, and then translating that into the English language word for word. And we all know anytime you switch from one language to another, you do not do word for word replacement. You generally have to change the structure of the language. So in Swahili, the "me I'm tired" version would be "mimi nimechoka." So mimi is reference to yourself, ni is reference to yourself, and choka is tired. So in Swahili, it means that the structure of that sentence is correct and the rules of the Swahili language are correct. In Swahili, you can refer to yourself twice in the same sentence. So structure is the third aspect of language. The fourth aspect of language is image simulation. Now, image simulation is when your eyes see a letter or a word, the mind has to decode what your eyes see and make sense of which sound to allocate the image or the letter or the word. So I'm going to go back to my surname. Remember this that looks like an I and the actual I. So in the Kikuyu language, these two are available. There is this one, which is an A, and this, which is an I. So for example, if someone who can read Kikuyu has to switch to reading in English, and they see, for example, a word that has the I sound, for example, eat, IT, okay? And you need to read the word eat. Your mind sees a word that has a vertical line and something at the top, and this also has a vertical line and something at the top, and your brain has to decide which of these sounds to allocate that letter. And so I think that goes to explain why sometimes Kikuyu speakers may pronounce the Kikuyu A in the English reading when they mean to pronounce the I. So for example, instead of saying it is cold, you may hear someone say it is cold. I think that's an aspect of image simulation, where the mind sees letters that look alike, and then the mind decodes the interpretation of that sound from the language that you do not intend to use. So when you see something that looks like an I, your mind may decode that as a Kikuyu A, which looks like an I, as opposed to the English I. And the fifth aspect is a different perspective. Languages give us a different perspective, a different view, because languages are not just about use of different words. It's also about the context in which the languages are used. So for example, the French language is a gendered language. It gives masculine and feminine to different items, which is not the same case for English or Swahili or Kikuyu. So when you're speaking in the French language, your mind has to adjust to seeing gender in items, something that your mind does not need to do when you're using the English language. Languages give us more than just the change of words or the change of sounds. Languages come as a package of different perspectives, different alphabets, different pronunciations, different image simulations, and different structures, and I'm sure so much more that we have not explored in this video. So the next time you hear someone making a skewed sentence, maybe think about the structure and maybe wonder in what language they're thinking. The next time you hear someone say it when they mean to say it, think about image simulation. And this is not unique to the Kikuyu language. I'm simply using the Kikuyu language as an example because it's the language that I'm familiar with, or at least I have been able to do a little bit of research on and understand better. But I'm sure we can all find words or ways that the 68 languages in Kenya can be accommodated in these 5 aspects. You can make sense of so many languages in Kenya and begin to understand why people from different tribes pronounce certain sounds or certain letters differently. This is not just for Kenya, this goes for the rest of the world because there's so many languages. There are about 7,000 languages in the world today, over 7,000 languages. So you can imagine the diversity, the different alphabets, the different combinations of rules and structures, the different pronunciations, the different image simulations, the different perspectives that we could all enjoy if we could only embrace the fact that language is a beautiful, complex process. And when your mind switches from one language to another, your mind changes perspective. Your mind has to do so much more than just giving you the word-for-word interpretation of language. I hope that we can continue exploring the different languages in Kenya and beyond and begin to appreciate the different dynamics of language. Think about the unique alphabets in the languages that you speak. What are the unique alphabets? What are the unique pronunciations? What are the unique structures of how you construct sentences in the different languages that you speak? What are the unique image simulations? Letters that look alike that may not be available in other languages. And how does your perspective change when you switch languages? So let's enjoy this journey. Let's continue celebrating different languages and the dynamics that languages incorporate into our lives. Thank you so much for tuning in, and see you on the next one.